Ben and Davison with another EuroHooplife podcast. We're going to be talking with Jay Warren about Finland. Jay, how's it going today?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I got to look up here. I see the team name that we're going to be talking about is Joensuu Kataja Basket. Is that correct?
Joensuu, I think the name of the city, or Kayata's name of the city. I'm 100% sure, but I think you said it right.
Sounds like, yeah, they always have those double letters and all that stuff that makes things confusing over there. But let's get right into the interview. What was it like when you got over there? What were you expecting? What was the living situation? What was practice and the game facilities like?
So the facilities were great. They actually had a great facility. The living situation was decent. We had our own place. We put us up in an apartment, so we had our own place. We had to share a car between, I think, 3 players or something like that, which wasn't the best thing ever. But
I mean, as a basketball player, a lot of times the Americans, we all go together at the same places to eat and do all that stuff, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I brought my girlfriend there at the time. So I think as long as there was, all of us wanted to go eat, or we just, it was cool. So, but yeah, it was. Getting around wasn't the problem. As far as the living facilities, living, it was cool. The city was. It was okay.
How many people were in the city? Was it like a big city, a metropolis, or a town or a village?
Well, it was a metropolis. It definitely wasn't a metropolis. I think there was one big building there. It was. I think it was big enough to have one mall. Let's just put it that way. Okay. But I don't remember a lot of people were there because spending time in that city, it was like I said. I think it was really, really short there. This is when social media was starting to kind of, it just started implementing itself. So how I actually got that gig was somebody said something on Twitter, and Twitter didn't trend like it does now, but somebody said something on Twitter, and boom, they cut the guy and they gave me a call and they said, "Hey, you want to come play?"
That's how fast Twitter works, right? That's how fast it works.
That's how fast it works. So they speak English over there too. So. You just got to be careful. I guess he thought it was just going to be private, but it went viral over in that city, and they got rid of that bird.
And so, how was the whole playing situation? What was the league competition like? And real quick question: was it one of those things where it's like an 18 hours of sunlight, and there's only like a little part of darkness, kind of thing, because they're so far up north?
Oh yeah, so the main city in Finland is Helsinki or something like that. Helsinki. So yeah, so I flew into that city, and I flew another 2 or 3 hours. Flew another 2 or 3 hours north, like closer to Russia, because like when you curve like that, it's close to Russia right there. Yep. This is probably, I would say, I don't want to down finish the country or whatever, because somebody from this may watch it or whatever, and it's not a bad country or anything like that. It wasn't for me. And what I mean is just like that, what you just talking about, that 18 hours of darkness during October, November, December, and then I would even say maybe 20 hours at one time. So I just remember coming out of practice one day, and I was just like, I got to check. So we had to be at practice at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark outside. So it's still pitch black and dark outside. We come out of practice about 11:30. You start seeing the sun coming up. You just barely see the sun coming up. We go have lunch. We sit and have lunch for about an hour, 90 minutes. You see the sun going right back down.
We got like 3 hours or something.
Oh man, it was like 2.5, 3 hours. And then basically by 2 o'clock, it was pitch black dark again. So,
what was it like as an adjustment?
Well, I mean, it definitely was an adjustment, because like especially when playing in South America, and around that time you're used to more sunlight, and then but I went with the mindset that I knew I was closer to like the North Pole, and I was like, so I knew it was going to be more dark, but I just didn't expect it to be like that. So that so getting used to that, because I mean. Even though I'm a morning person now, like I get up 4:30 every morning to work out, then getting up, like when you wake up, especially after practice, how it is, your body's tired, and all that stuff. So you wake up and it's still dark outside. You think you have time, but you look at the clock and it's 8:30, and you got to be at practice on time. Be like,
depressing. Sitting there like I got to deal with this for week on week on week.
yes, and that's the thing. Like, so if you get there, I got there, I think like mid of fall, like beginning of winter, something around there. And so I'm basically in beginning in the heart of it. So so when you're up north, you get more of it. So it's not like it's getting better. It's getting, the darkness getting worse. Meaning like probably around, Christmas time, January, February, you're gonna probably get like 2 hours, because when you're up north, they had like, I think a city probably an hour away, maybe 2 hours away. I think it's called like the Ice Hotel or something like that, where they build a hotel during the summertime and people go over there. Maybe I'm in the wrong country. Maybe that's Sweden. I don't remember, but I just know a little bit more up north. They had hotels because that's how cold and how dark it was, and people would go there and hang out.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like a place. So after we finish up on and the finances, let's wrap this whole interview up, like the finances, and then just what would you kind of like, what tidbits would you leave for a player if they go up to Finland?
So they do pay. They pay on time. I think Finland is a good league for if you're a veteran. I want to go there, but I think it's a good get your feet wet type of league. Meaning you go up there, you produce, you get your numbers, show that
for Americans to really take over the team and be the lead guy.
Yeah, and play, yeah, I mean, and depending on how high your expectations are for getting paid in Europe. So if you want to, kind of be at the, the bottom, then you stay in Finland. But if you try to grow your career, you use that as your platform. Maybe play FIBA Cup, FIBA Euro Cup, or something like that, and get your name out there so you can start get into a better situation. So
okay.
Yeah.
So a good stepping stone. I kind of see that whole little northern block, that England, the Brussels, the Belgium, the Finland, the Sweden's, this kind of like a stepping stone. Once you get into the top levels, you want to go to Spain, France, Italy, Greece, Turkey, those kinds of countries. That's why I always kind of rank those things. And the farther into your north you go up, the better stepping stones. And it's a great place. But when you go there, you have to score 20 points, 30 points. Go out there, get your shots up, and be able to use it as a statistic pattern to be able to get to a better country, to be able to get to a more competitive league type of thing. Jay, how would people get in contact with you if they want to ask you some questions?
Yeah, no doubt. Just kind of piggyback off what you said, I think I could 100% agree with you. That is probably the best way to put it, is you use those country, that country or those countries to not just get your numbers, but win too. Because if you're in the FIBA and you're winning, that's going to help you increase your contract and stuff like that.
Yep.
And we didn't go into, because that was they did talk about Dennis Rodman when I was there a lot too as well.
Yeah,
so
share a story about that. Where did Dennis Rodman play?
Oh, so Dennis Rodman played for the exact team I played for, and the players that were there when he was there, they had I don't think they went into the details about like the last dance, but they were looking at him like, man, like basically how America looks at Jordan, like, or how Jordan. That's how they were looking at Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, he can go out there and score, but he's also going out there to probably just escape some of the media and just get away from the rest of the chaos that trails along him wherever he goes.
Yeah, I think he was trying to, going back to what we were talking about. I don't know if he was trying to get back in the NBA at the time, but I think he was just using that like on a world tour, like kind of what artists do, because he was playing. I think they were talking about bringing Scottie Pippen at the time or something like that after his career, like when he was old or whatever, but he didn't end up going. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and so everyone can find you on social media.
Yes, just find me on social media at Jamar Warren on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just subscribe, and you can DM me, and I answer all our messages.
Awesome. Jay, thank you for your time and your sharing your experience overseas.
I appreciate it, my man. Thanks.